What? Woolworths? Pick up a penguin and take a hike.
My name is Bomber,
And I'm Chris.
and you're about to listen to This Week in Sedgefield.
The heat has left and the rain has come.
The rain is here.
It's some lovely rain, isn't it?
It's wonderful. But I was thinking along
that's good.
different lines.
Hey. Oh, were you thinking
Because
different? Yeah.
the day this podcast hits, does it hit the streets?
It hits the street. I throw it at the street.
Okay, because we always say the newspaper hits the streets,
Yes.
but that's a physical thing. Yes,
It is.
It's
Yeah,
on
the
the streets.
the street is physical, yeah.
Podcasts would hit the ears. Anyway,
Yes.
I don't know. So the day the podcast hits the ears, I'm using my deep voice because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's
So
true.
you're listening to The Love Doctor and the other guy.
with this frog.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone,
Happy
and
Valentine's
to you, Chris, as well.
Oh, thank you very much. I
Yes,
appreciate
yeah.
all the Valentine's wishes. I'm
thank
looking
you.
forward to whatever I'm going to get from you tomorrow.
Yeah, well, thank you for the bunch of red roses you bought for me. It was very good of you. I'm not sure if it was appropriate, and or were they for your wife? They were on the table. I don't know.
No, I don't know either.
We'll see. Yeah.
I just found them in my hand after I'd taken them from someone else's hand, and I quickly handed them off to you. So you'll probably
There
be
you
hearing
go.
about that at some point.
Yeah. But yes, Valentine's Day is the day that this will be aired.
Yes, and here's the thing about the rain and about Valentine's Day is that it's great for some people, but not so great for other people.
Yes.
So
I've found that if perchance, just
Yes.
out of this is sort of a generalization probably, but if by some faint chance you actually had an office roof that leaked
Yes.
onto important documents,
Yeah.
then the rain's not so much
Exactly.
fun.
Isn't
so
it?
I've heard.
Yes.
Yes, it's kind of a drip, drip, drip reminder that I got.
Yes, yeah.
This
And
morning.
then from, did that really happen this morning?
Yes.
Oh, man, I'm
Yeah,
so
no,
sorry.
it's a
I thought it was
office
just
roof,
like an in general thing. That's
No.
oh,
This
man.
is an
bleak.
edge building thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But this is actually my starting point then.
Is
That's as we've been speaking, especially about globally and about South Africa and even about Sedgefield very much, that a lot of the news and a lot of what happens is tough to report on. I mean, sure, you know more than anyone else on that, but it's because so much of it is good for some people and not good for other people.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the challenge for any sort of media reporting is that you have to take middle of the road as far as you can.
Yeah. Declare the facts.
Just because it's good for you, it doesn't mean it's good for anyone else. Often I've sort of thought, oh wow, when it's really, really bucketing with rain, you think, wow, that's great, and then you think of the people who are living in informal houses.
Exactly. That was my exact thought this morning. Yeah. Kind of driving in and seeing the dune. And I mean, all of the issues around the dune really are, some of them are great for some people, not great for other people.
Others, yeah.
And that's just going to be the case. And this led us to a bit of an idea, which I think we should just throw out there now and just see if people are keen on it.
We're underlining it. We're
a
saying
little
it's
bit.
going to be done. Okay,
Yeah, let's
go
see.
for it.
So we thought, Bomber and I, we have different ideas on many a thing. One is on putting your phone on silent while you record a podcast. We've got very different ideas about that.
Yes, yeah.
You hear with that frog. He's also a very, very famous, very popular guy, which is why you hear it often. But we thought, we've got differing views about Trump.
Yeah.
As one of the figures. I mean, there are a few.
Wildly different views.
I believe so. And we haven't really dug down to the depths of those in conversation because of the culture of offense around us.
Yes.
I know I'm just terribly worried that I offend you with something that because there are people who stop being friends because of a US president.
Exactly.
And will not talk to people because of that.
So we all kind of step. It's like teenagers, when they first meet, they kind of stare at each other and walk around at each other,
very
sniffing
awkwardly.
a bit. And then eventually they might sort of say, hey, or something like that.
You smell
Well,
good.
that's what we do with
Yeah.
with the tea subject.
in the US and all that.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is dedicate a separate episode, and not this week in Sedgefield, just kind of an episode of something. Maybe it could be the start of some other discussions.
Yeah.
And we want to try to prove a point that it's possible to have a discussion about a divisive topic.
Yes.
And I think that's the full stop, then it. To see if you can just have a discussion and still be friends after.
About a very divisive topic. Yes.
That's right, yeah.
And this is a social experiment. Because
it is a bit, isn't it?
It could be, as you said earlier, it could be the last podcast we ever do.
That's it. We're done.
So yes, hopefully nobody will be hurt during the recording of the podcast.
Yeah, no matter how wrong they are, yeah.
Look out for that. We'll have it done within the next week.
Yes, or 15, yeah.
Yeah, let's see if we can change each other's minds.
Yeah, maybe that would be an outcome.
That's not going to happen.
No. Why even do it? No one's mind ever changed through No one's mind ever changed through Facebook and comments. That's my position. But people's minds, my mind has changed through conversations and discussions.
Absolutely.
And real people in the room. And maybe that's something we need to get back to. But I mean, that's why also, as much as you look at the Dune issue and a lot of the issues, there is a lot of calling for a committee and for discussions. And I mean, of course, it gets super duper frustrating when it is just endless discussions without any real actions coming from those.
Yeah.
But that's how change really starts, I think.
I think
in a lot of ways, a lot of times.
As we've said before, the June group, the June people of the June.
Yes, that's because there are two of them.
Yes. So there's the June group, and that's the people who are really worried about the June collapsing. Mm-hmm. They're the people on the sort of sharp side of the June, as it were. And then there's the people on the June, which is an effort by Nelson Mandela University.
That's it. Okay.
They're putting it together to try and get people to have dialogue about the Dune, teach people the dangers of building the Dune and the nature, but digging deep into it, which will be a very constructive thing.
Well, whether or not you should dig deep into a dune is a different discussion.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay.
But that'll be cool to see. Maybe we can make a bit of a platform for having these discussions and all of these things.
That would be good.
But the new edition of The Edge is out. I haven't read it through. I do. I like to sit down and on my special chair that you know about there in the Briar.
Edge chair.
I do, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And I got to say, it's Valentine's Day tip number 1.
Yeah.
Here we go. Actually, number 2. First is don't steal flowers from somebody else and then give them to a friend because. But as a man, you will look considerably more attractive reading a copy of The Edge than you would your phone.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yes, sitting on the edge, reading the edge. Don't sit too close to the edge because your wife might push you off.
Oh, yeah. But you're reading the edge. If you're on your phone, you're definitely down. You're out there. You're doom scrolling, and you maybe even deserve it. But the new edition is out, and this I thought was pretty funny. That we spoke last week, and there was the article about the moles.
Yes,
and then from that you had some new advertisers.
It was great. I've got 2 lots of pet exterminator.
Not pets, surely.
Sorry, not pets. Sorry, pest.
For those annoying neighbor dogs.
Edit that. Pest control advertisers.
Yes.
Come on board. What
Amazing.
a pleasure. Oh, not a pleasure
hilarious.
for the moles, of course.
No.
But look, it is a problem.
Good news for some and bad news for others, right? Pest control.
Yes.
So I just thought that was really funny, really interesting.
Very funny.
But I also said, kind of first thing when I saw you with it this morning, was what a difference it makes to just have a really nice photo. I mean, and it's difficult because a good photo is a difficult thing to really attain. But man, what an awesome photo of Uncle Penguin friend Frank.
Yes,
Frank Bird.
It really is.
It's
a lovely picture that was we got permission to use. It was a local person. I don't have a copy of the paper with me, so otherwise I would give you the name. But it's on the paper, so that'll encourage people.
There we go.
It was the stranded African penguin.
Yes, yeah.
So
rare,
a rare
one,
medium rare,
a medium rare.
So the problem it had. I mean, we all want to leave nature be, and we've had instances in the past where seals have come up on the beach and there's a great shout and everyone's saying,
Hoopla.
"Save the seal!"
Chuck it into
get it back
Jaws
into the
mouth,
sea, or take it to be rescued and whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of times seals will just pop onto the beach and chill for a while and then go back into the sea.
Yeah.
It doesn't always need to be rescued. But in this case, it did.
Oh.
Because not the
seal.
the
Not the
penguin.
proverbial seal, the metaphorical seal.
So it was a juvenile penguin and it was rescued and taken into the custody, into the welcoming arms.
Juvenile was probably scribbling all over the dunes, you know.
The welcoming arms of the Dunefields team.
Oh, Dunefields team. Okay, I didn't even know what that is.
It's a place just outside Sedgefield, sort of along the coast towards George.
Oh, okay.
And there's two doctors, both of them, they're married and to each other.
Yes.
And Zanri Stradum is the lady doctor. And her husband is also
Mr. Stradum.
Mr. Stradum. Because as I said, I don't have a copy of the paper in front of me.
Oh, man.
Anyway, they've actually built on a sort of a rehab part to that the Dunefields property for seabirds in
that's
distress.
so cool.
Yeah, and she's I think the sea gannet is one that she specializes in. But that's their speciality.
So
they
awesome.
were called because this penguin was just standing on the beach.
Well,
what do you expect?
Where's my home? It's not.
What's it doing on the beach?
Where's the ice? I don't know.
Just standing.
I remember it on the TV.
Yes.
Oh, it's a great Monty Python reference that I got. I'm so happy. It just exploded. Sorry.
What they explained was that it was a juvenile penguin, so it come out the water, and they come out the water to the beach to molt.
Oh.
Not to drink malt, but to molt.
Or melt.
M-O-U-L-T.
Oh, okay.
And molting is a process where they lose their juvenile feathers.
Yes, because they are still feathers,
and get the posh tuxedo feathers.
Well done, looking classy. Just in time
they're
for Valentine's.
Sort of greyish at the moment, but when they become real men penguins or lady penguins, they get that big, nice, black, shiny black suit.
Beautiful.
But now, when they are juveniles swimming in the sea, as they do, they are waterproof, which is a good thing.
Yes, probably helpful,
When they get onto the beach and start molting, they are no longer waterproof for that period of time.
But what would that mean? Would they melt?
No.
If they don't molt, they'll melt.
They molt. No, so basically, they if they went back in the sea during this time, which they don't do because they've got instincts.
Yeah,
they don't do. They stand on the beach and they're there for a while whilst their feathers change.
Thinking things through. Yeah.
Yep.
Gazing out.
And normally it's fine, but the Platbank Beach where the penguin was on its own, shame, lonely. Is a dog beach.
Oh, this is true.
So you can walk your dog on the beach from Maioli to
Platbank, and then it's from Platbank on, then it's not. But yes, okay.
If a dog came and the penguin ran back in the sea, because I tell you a secret, they can't fly.
What?
So you
just said a secret?
They're just scared of heights. So if it ran back in the sea, it would drown because it's no longer waterproof.
What?
Temporarily not waterproof.
Yeah.
So they had to take it from Platbank Beach.
That is fascinating.
Isn't
That's ridiculous.
And it was at night when they finally got the call because the couple that found it couldn't get signal from the beach.
Yes.
So by the time they got the Dunefields people in, it was dark. So they rushed down and found it.
Yes.
Under the moonlight.
Gazing out still.
Yes, gazing out to sea. Going,
I wish I was waterproof.
I'm molting. And rescued it. They took it back to their place. And once they'd sort of sorted it out, I don't introduced them.
Yes.
I almost forgot. They scanned it.
So they scanned it?
Yeah, they put it on
like a QR code scanner.
They put it on the photocopier. No, they didn't. They had one of those little things. You know when someone has a lost dog and they check it for chips.
Yes.
And they had this was a chipped.
What?
A chipped penguin.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You done chipped that penguin?
They really are endangered.
They are, yeah. They're
so
very
they're
special.
monitoring them very, very carefully. This one was from Algoa, not Eastern Cape Algoa.
Yeah.
I think Western Cape Algoa Island or something.
Oh, whoa.
It's a place.
That's
Algoa Rock.
Okay,
something like that.
That's a distance.
Yeah, it's come a long way.
That's serious.
So it was hatched there.
Yeah.
And came with its chip on its shoulder, perhaps. Don't know. All the
Is it
way
juvenile?
this way, and then thought, well, Sedgefield's nice.
Oh, don't we all just agree on
hang
that?
out on the beach.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now it's in Mossel Bay, where there's a proper rehab centre, as in, they'll look after it and release it.
Ah, there we go. When it's waterproof and won't get waterlogged.
Yeah. I don't know how they test them.
Yeah.
For being waterproof.
They throw them like a torpedo. Like a Nerf ball. You know those kids' toys that look like an American football with the thing out the back?
Oh, I see. So they throw it into the water.
And there are new ones that whistle.
And if it drowns, they know, it wasn't waterproof.
It was not.
We shouldn't have done
Guys,
that.
it wasn't ready.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You were right. Bill, you.
Anyway, so that was a lovely picture.
That was
for
great.
The front
It's
page.
beautiful, yeah. And I love that story. That's
I'd
intriguing.
actually like to encourage listeners to send us pics, especially pics that are newsworthy.
Yes. Yeah. But there are so many of this place. Hey?
Yeah, and it's really great. If someone has a great photograph, look, we can't do sunsets on the because the newspaper never really does sunsets justice.
Yes,
but
just
it's
because
not
of how
really
it
a
prints
news
out.
thing because sunsets happen every day. Actually.
Quite frequently.
Yes,
yeah.
So, but something like that. It was so great to have a picture.
It is, yeah.
And a good news story. Yeah.
They email it to you at editor at the Edge
Editor
News.
at Edge News.
Editor at edgenews.co.za. Okay, those photos. That'll be great.
One we actually, I think we had to trace it back quite a bit.
Oh, really? Okay, to get to who actually took it.
Because someone who shared it, who had forwarded it, who had shared it.
That's how it goes,
So we had to sort of, do you know where this came from? Do you know
AI generated, yeah.
No, it wasn't AI.
But I get why that penguin would want to come and settle here. It is a beautiful, it is an amazing place.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard this was pretty interesting and links up with our next story here, that there are just great psychological benefits to going and having a sit or a stand or a crouch, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Whatever
a squat, but maybe
penguins
not that.
Yeah. A perch.
A perch. Yeah, a lovely perch. And have a look at something that is just way bigger than you, that is awe-inspiring, like the ocean, like the mountains, like the forest and everything like that.
Oh, wow.
For 2 minutes. If you do that for just 2 minutes, there is a measurable effect, a positive effect that happens with humans who look at things that are just way bigger than themselves. It must have something to do with perspective, with seeing great design, with whatever it might be. But it's something that really, really helps. Kind of in a time where we are just, glued to our screens. We were speaking about this over coffee, and I think there might be something more to come with it. But just how we're so glued and how we just get so lost often. In screens and in a digital world, which great, space for it and everything like that. But there's just great benefit to that.
Well, it's funny, it's just come to mind when we were, I don't know how old I was, but I used to watch it on TV, an American program called The Big Blue Marble.
Yeah.
And the theme song was, "The world's a big blue marble when you see it from out there. The sun and moon declare a beauty very rare. Our differences and problems from out there, there's not much trace." And I'm going to stop there.
Oh, and please don't ever. That was lovely.
So profound.
Lovely.
It was a kids' program. It was all about different parts of the world and what have you. And they went to see what kids did in various parts of the world. But that line, when you're looking at it from out there, the differences and problems, there's no trace of them.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Wasn't that a Neil Armstrong quote? The blue marble. It's just a little blue marble. I think it was one of the astronauts that's where it came from.
It could have been. You mean when they did the stage setup?
Yes, I know, of course.
Filmed it in Hollywood.
When they sent the satellite to take.
They
sent a satellite to take all the pictures and then just did the rest of the staging.
And
of course.
A starched flag.
Okay. So we've got to speak about Trump first, and then we'll get back.
And then, was there a moon landing?
Yeah, and you believe that the world is round. Ridiculous. That's episode 3.
Come on, my goodness. Yeah.
But we were just saying that it does, that perspective kind of that blue marble, that's profound, that kind of sticks. But you got a nice article about a group who does that helps specifically with mental health things and going on hikes.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I like this idea.
It's a a thing put together by the lions. Well, the Leos, who are the young lions.
Oh, is that what the Leos are? Okay.
Sedgefield's young lions. I think
Yeah.
they're teenagers who might become lions later on.
As they
or
aspire.
identify as lions. Who knows? And they put together this thing called Hike It Out. And I think what it's becoming more and more common knowledge that there are huge anxiety, mental health issues, basically, that teens are suffering now.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with social media.
Yeah.
Really,
that's what we were
does.
speaking about.
We've been chatting about it a lot. And they're kind of encouraging people to hike it out, to go on these long walks with them.
Yeah.
They'll have
Together.
people taking them. Yeah. And it's not like a come on a walk and talk about your problems. They're saying no conversation needed other than hello, can I join you for your walk?
Yeah. And that's good. Yeah. Take all the pressure, all the worry of am I going to have to put on a face?
And with other people, have a bit of fun. Don't have to talk about any problems if you don't want to.
Yeah.
In fact, probably nobody's going to talk about their problems.
Yeah. You're just going to go on a hike.
Other than sore feet.
Yes. Complain
and
together.
And it's such a good... because physical exercise produces better endorphins than social media.
Yes.
So much better.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
In fact, that leads us to the other subject we were going to talk about.
Yes.
Which is National...
oh, man. What is it?
National Movement Awareness Month or something.
It was something to that effect.
National Move Your Body Month.
Yeah.
February is National Move Your Body Month or something similar to that.
Yeah, it was declared by Saint Valentine, who was a little bit sick of always just getting... just wanted to take a break from all the pressures.
Wanted to share February with somebody else.
Yeah. March.
So, it's basically it's not in this edition. It'll be in the next edition of our paper. And it's basically saying, keep moving.
There's that slogan as you drive out from Groenvallei or that our side kind of Sedge.
Onto the N2.
Onto the N2. Yeah. There's the keep moving to slow aging.
That's it.
That's exactly a great slogan.
Yeah,
that's very good.
Physically, it makes sense. It's not just psychological.
Yeah.
It's get your blood moving around your body.
Yeah.
Because it'll go frot.
Otherwise, it just pulls in your big toe. And then you get old man big toe. That is another thing.
Yeah. So keep your body moving. It really is good for the endorphins. It's so good for the body.
Yeah.
So good at relieving stress. So good at preventing cardiac arrest, helping prevent cardiac arrest.
Yeah, well, cardiac issues.
Yeah. And keep moving. And even... I had an old friend years ago.
Massive big toe.
He was very old even then. And he once said to me that his brother had visited from Holland and said to him, and been to his office, and noticed that when he was at his office, he used to get up from his chair, walk across the room to the cabinet, to the filing cabinet, and take a file out and walk back to his chair.
Yeah.
And his brother, being a very efficient European Hollander. Is Holland Europe or is it Scandinavia? It is.
No, it'll still be Europe, but yeah.
And said, you why are you wasting so much energy going across the room?
This is inefficient.
12 times a day. Move the thing next to your desk, and then you won't have to get up.
Yeah, I get that.
And we talked about this, and he was saying he's right. I need to be more efficient. But then we talked about it, and I said, but if you weren't getting up 12 or 15 or whatever it was times a day to walk across your car, you'd probably be twice the size as you are now.
Yeah. There we
Which
go.
is nice for somebody looking at something bigger than
yes. But that's for people who sell desks for people who are bigger.
That part of this article is saying, take the stairs instead of the lift.
Yeah.
Are there any lifts?
No. We take our kids for an outing to the lifts in Eisner. That's the extent. I don't ride them. I get motion sick. I'm not used to that.
But walk. I've often remarked if Sedgefield was in England.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a Sedgefield in England. Yes. Yeah.
But if this Sedgefield was in England, I reckon 98% of us would be walking to the shops and back.
Very interesting.
People do that.
Yeah.
There. People will, because a lot of people don't have cars, because parking,
the norm not
finding
to.
parking outside your
that's
house.
right. In the
is just
countryside
ridiculous.
and all. Well, anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
The streets are so much narrower.
Narrower, yeah.
So you actually have to park half on the pavement.
If you brought 2 horses, you got to stack them on top of each other.
Yeah, that's it. So people walk to the shops and back. We don't. Most of us live, maximum 2 k's from the shop.
I got a big hill between. You don't.
Hey? No, I don't. I should.
You got no
So
excuse.
that's what you should. Those are the decisions you should be making.
And that makes a very big difference
Yeah,
all around.
it does.
It makes us more aware of our streets.
Yeah.
We're in the area where walking and moving should come naturally, and that's a great message for me. I haven't been moving around a lot.
No, nor have I.
And it does. It makes a difference. No, it absolutely does.
Excellent.
Oh man, that's cool to hear. Oh, you know what? Even walking around the market. Any of those sort of events and things that happen, those are always really, those are just great things to do.
They are. There is a problem with it because there's lots of food, and I tend to.
You say? I disagree,
well,
sir.
I tend to eat more calories than I walk off. Put it that way. Yeah. But that's okay.
Yeah, you got to stop at the veggie side.
Yes. Yeah.
But what was that in the Edge about the market? There was a thing,
wasn't
there?
The market updates.
Yes.
Yes.
And now for the market
headlines.
updates.
Look, there's been lots of conjecture online about what's happening because the mosaic market is they've applied to move that market into the Scarab property. The Scarab
what were the big
combine
open
the
space?
two. Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be one big market.
Yeah.
He's Cliff Elian, who's the sort of proprietor.
Yes.
He says no, it's really going to be great. He can't wait to make this step.
Whoa, that'll be a big step. That's going to be a huge area then.
Huge. So obviously they told the market stall holders a while back, but now obviously word of this has got out.
Yeah, as it does.
And then people are saying, okay, so what's going to happen with the mosaic land? And
Woolworths.
Oh, it's going to be Woolworths.
Did someone say that?
Yes, that's
really?
It was instant. Woolworths.
It's Woolworths. Let's say Woolworths. No.
And then 250 people said yay, and 255 people said no.
And they were probably all just telling each other to just get out then.
Yes, How long have you lived here? Yeah.
Okay.
So there
That's
was a bit of
episode
chaos
4
online.
of the disagreement.
Yes. So basically, we gave him a call and said, okay, just give us the rundown of what's actually happening.
Oh, cool. So that's in
which
there, yeah.
He did.
Okay.
But of that area,
Yeah.
It's zoned mixed residential and commercial.
For the people living in the stalls.
Yeah.
The new land. Oh, okay.
The leftover land.
Yes. Oh,
But
okay.
he said, no, there's absolutely been no decision. They want to do something in fix with their zoning.
Okay.
But he says, I had said to him, so you're at the early stages of making that decision. He said, the very early stages.
Okay, like the pre-alpha
like
alpha.
we haven't even, it's like little ideas here and there.
Yes.
So there's no multi-story Woolworths happening there.
Yes.
I did suggest online SeaWorld. Because dolphins jumping through hoops.
We could probably start with we got one penguin that can probably sort out.
Penguin
That's all you need to start. Start small.
Yes, that's it. It doesn't even have to jump through hoops. You can throw hoops over the penguin.
Yes, we don't even need water. It's not waterproof anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
It'd be cruelty if we did. Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
So that's the story on that.
Okay.
It's just to try and I think quite a bit of that. Quite a bit of what the Edge does now is try and wade through all the stuff that's out there on social media.
Yeah,
and
it's difficult
try
to
get to the bottom of stuff. Yeah, the blue bags we talked about last time.
We did, and that's I only saw a snippet of that just from what we looked through, and already I'm like, okay, cool. That's finally we can actually get some answers, something a little bit more solid than. The hearsay.
So,
saying of the hear.
As we said last time, the basic thing is it's all about garden refuse. It's not a compulsory thing.
Yep.
If you don't want your garden refuse taken away, don't buy an expensive blue bag.
Yep.
Don't buy any blue bag.
Yeah.
If you want to take it away in a bucky,
It was like $50 or something like that. It's right at the end of that article.
Load.
Yeah.
That's a lot of garden waste.
Dis mos goedkoop.
Yeah, that you can take it to the dump, drive it there. So basically what the municipality is saying, and as I've said before, please don't shoot the messenger. What they're saying is, if you want your garden refuse taken away, buy the expensive blue bags from the
and then it'll be sorted. And it's a convenience.
It's a convenience.
It's an extra thing. It's not included in our municipal account currently, because if it was in those charges, that wouldn't be great, because that would mean, for the people who aren't using it every week, that you're paying for a service that you're not using. So it's not included in that. Okay. See, that's what I wanted to clarify.
In your rates and taxes that you're paying.
Okay. So it's not included in that.
So it's just one of those things that seems to be getting under everyone's fur.
Yeah. Okay, so that's just another great role for the Edge. And I mean, we speak often about how much I enjoy the Edge, and I'm pretty sure you do too, and so many of the readers do.
Thank you.
There's a reliable kind of nature in there of actually having sifted through, of checking. You're more accountable than somebody who's just kind of off the cuff saying all their nonsense. I do so enjoy the many puns that come in there as well, and it was quite heavy with them.
This edition, I must say,
it's so fun, man. I like it.
Head on, yes.
But what I do want to talk about, which I also haven't read from this one, I just wanted to ask you a few questions about Ted's head.
Oh,
am I saying it correctly, or is it Ted?
Ted. Okay, so
Ted, is it Ted Shed?
Ted. Well, it started off, okay, so go back to 1998.
Okay, I'm on my way.
What?
Boyzone.
You were like 3 then, weren't you? So,
I was in standard form. I was like 10 or 11. I don't know, something like that.
So when we were still living in Zim, when we took over what was then the Sedgefield Advertiser.
It wasn't the Edge yet.
No, it wasn't the Edge yet, no. So it was an ad rag. So just advertising.
Yeah.
So we decided fairly quickly that it should become something with editorial in, because it'll make people want to pick it up.
Yes,
more.
you actually.
So while we were still trying to move from Zim down here, my sister-in-law was running it for us.
Oh, nice!
And she phoned me and said, "Send some editorial down."
Send a thing. Yeah.
And I mean, there wasn't even email then. I think we had to fax it down to her.
Tied it to an elephant and slapped it on its way.
That was it. Tied to a penguin.
Throw it like a torpedo.
And so I thought, well, she said, make it a letter from the editor, just introducing yourself and telling people what the paper's going to be about. So I was thinking, well, notes from the editor. Oh, no, that's boring. Notes from the editor's head. That would be fun. And then I thought, if we could short the editor to the ed, maybe to ed.
Yes.
So
there are a lot of apostrophes around.
Yes, apostrophes all over. So it's a note. Notes from Ted's head became a thing. So I've never wanted to be called Ted, but it was Tad. No, it's from Tad.
From Tad.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's where
good Zimbabwean accent, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So that's where that came from.
Okay, and that's where originally it started off.
Yeah.
And what I've loved is the hyperbole, the big exaggeration of kind of smaller events. At least that's the way I read it. So my question is, how much of this is true and how much of it is this just kind of persona character? Like, how much of that junk really happens?
Okay.
If I'm calling it junk in the nicest possible way.
No, there's always a seed of truth.
Yeah.
And that's because it has to be, because it's what happens in life. This one we talk about half of it is about direct debits, which are the bane of my life.
Oh man, yeah.
Because
I still want to read it, so don't tell me everything. But yeah.
And then the next bit is it leads on to our old washing machine breaking down, which it has. It has.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there is just a small bit of exaggeration.
just a
I do have to say, my poor wife, who gets no end of abuse in the column.
Sure. Yeah.
And of course, she's nothing like the Mrs. Ed.
Mrs. Ed,
described.
Oh, but I love Mrs. Ed.
Nothing like. I mean, I often talk about Mrs. Ed's 4 o'clock shadow and her village people T-shirt flapping in the wind and whatever. No, she's nothing like that. But I mean, some of the conversation are wife-husband conversations.
I'm sure you can hear it in there.
Yeah, they're wife-husband conversations that happen. And does this? Do I look big in this shirt, or something like that? Or me with my. Have you seen my wallet?
Yes. And Christmas tree lights.
Answer, have you looked on the fridge? Yes, I have. And was it there? No, it wasn't. That's what I'm looking at. Those sorts of things. It's just day-to-day life, and parts of which I find fascinating and
hilarious,
and funny. And I think, especially bits where I know other people are would be having similar.
That's it.
Similar conversation.
No, you do.
Things
and
like backseat driving. My wife is she tends to take everybody else's side on the road except mine. So if a car pushes us off
because you're on the wrong side, maybe.
A car pushes us, and leaning out the window are 15 swarthy
penguins,
gorillas with machine guns, and beer bottles in the other hand, and sniffing cocaine. She'll say, why don't you give them more room?
Honestly.
You're really not
Come on,
very
Bonds.
nice. But those sorts of things. Just really, it's fun.
It's so much fun.
It's fun.
So it's been going on for years and years, ever since the age has been going.
Every edition since 1998.
Oh, that's amazing. You've made at least one compilation, the long book.
Oh, the long book fits perfectly on top of the toilet.
Yeah, oh man,
that was done in 2003, I think. Yeah,
and I got to read some. Well, I mean, you did the blog as well. We started to put some of them up, and you've got the full collection of them. But I would still love to see another book, a summary, even book. Over the past many years. It tells the story of the history of Sagefield of South Africa, moving from Zim. It's your guys' story. It's your family story. Seeing all the kids and seeing them kind of grow up through these. It's absolutely heartwarming, and I love it.
My poor son is always been called the resident expert on everything.
That's it, yes.
Because he was a teenager. And,
no, of course.
That's how teenagers roll.
Oh man, I love it. Okay, but we're out of time.
Are we out of time?
Yeah, I've loved speaking about that, hearing about that. Anything else that you're wanting to send us off with?
No, I think it's all been said except for be nice, I suppose. Be nice.
Yeah, let's see.
Especially to penguins.
Oh, especially to that penguin.
That penguin.
Don't laugh at it for not floating.
Oh,
not all penguins can float.
Yep.
That's a good one to carry throughout life, isn't it?
What, a penguin?
But only a floating one. Well, don't ask.
Pick up a penguin and carry it throughout your life. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. But please do let us know if you are interested in hearing the Trump discussion.
Oh, yes.
If there are any other topics that you are wanting covered. Anything else that you want along the way. But otherwise, thank you so much for the chat.
It's been real.